What is going on, YouTube? What is going on? We're about to drop a load right now for Amazon. So I want to show you guys real quick. Got something important to talk about right after. All right, here we go. 578 is the parking slip. 578. Looking for a 578. Yeah, so this load, I'm bringing it from Stockton, California. It was about 1,800 miles. Not too much, you know, but it's a good chunk of miles. Probably like over $1,000, I think, maybe. 578. It's gonna be right here, pretty close. 576, 578. Yep, there it is. It's right next to the Amazon, dude. It's gonna probably be like, wait, man, let me move. Man, I wish I could show you guys. Let me see if I could just turn it around a little bit. It's right next to that orange container, I think. Yeah, it's right next to the orange container. I'm just gonna see if she's gonna move or not. Yeah, she's gonna move, so I'm just gonna wait for her to move. And then drop this baby. Thank you. I'm not in her way. She went the other way, so we're good. I think she went the other way. I don't see her anymore. Man, where'd she go? Okay, well, I don't see her, so just gonna keep backing up. Man, where the heck is she? Well, I'm sure she moved, because I mean, if she didn't, then that doesn't make sense to me. I hope she moved.
Few minutes later.
Oh, Bob, wait! You didn't hear me! Ah! It's too late! SpongeBob! That's pretty damn good, boys. I'm a little too close to the left, so I'm just gonna pull forward a little bit, snake it a little bit to the right, and then go back to the left, and then bring it back straight to the right, and then that should put you right in front of the trailer. I don't know why this truck does that. It bounces in the beginning. I don't know if you guys can tell or not, but it's just a straight back. That's it.
something. Oh, damn. Just kidding. It's not that bad. There we go. Now, because it's Amazon, you gotta wear a vest. Sometimes, if you don't, they might give you one. They actually gave me this one. But yeah, you're supposed to be wearing a vest when you come to Amazon. All right, so the very first thing I do, very first thing you want to do is bring your landing gear down before you disconnect your airlines. There's no right way, I think, but I mean, it's not wrong, I guess, if you do it the other way. But Schneider taught me this way, so I kind of got used to it, you know. When you're gonna hook onto the trailer, they always suggest before you raise the landing gear, even though you're already backed into the trailer, before you raise the landing gear, they ask you to hook onto your airlines. So that's very important if you guys are gonna go with Schneider. And usually what I like to do is once it touches the ground, you can definitely feel it. There's a lot of tension when it touches the ground, and you start feeling the tension, especially if you're spinning it with one finger. As soon as you feel tension, I usually just bring it it's either half or a full, depending on where it is, so that I can have this ready to set back down where it's supposed to go. See what I mean? Just leave it right there. Now, according to Schneider, they say it's okay for you to take off the electrical and your airlines, your service and your emergency. So you take them both out. Make sure even though you're not hooking onto any airlines right here, make sure you hook them on right, because it can fall off, and if they're hanging, you can rip them out. And once that's done, now you can put your pin or your locking jaw pin, and yeah, now you can now you're pretty much ready to pull forward. I'm just gonna take some pictures real quick, and then I'll update you guys in just a bit. So I took my pictures, sent them to the company's group messaging system, and pretty much ready to go. So whenever you guys are hooking onto anything, if you're dropping or if you're gonna hook onto an empty trailer, do your due diligence. Make sure that you're checking everything before you hook on, before you take off, before you bring up your landing gear. You know, whatever it is, you got to check everything. The last thing you want is, you know, you miss something, and the next thing you know, something bad can happen along the way. I'm gonna give you guys a couple examples. This trailer precisely, when I went to go hook onto it, you know, I hooked on and everything, and you know, connected my airlines, raised the landing gear, and I'm checking the whole trailer. You know, I go and check the tires. There's a trick that you can do to check the tires and make sure that your ABS system is working properly and that your airlines are not leaking any air in your trailer. So I do all that, right? And then I was looking around the back, checking, you know, taking my pictures. I realized that the doors at the very top, they weren't even latched on inside of the little mechanism where it goes in and it latches. So it wasn't even, whoever closed the doors, they didn't do it right, and they had put the seal already on there. So you know, I had to get somebody to cut it, get a new seal, update my paperwork, and so it's nothing crazy, right? I mean, the doors could have opened. I don't know. You know, you just never know. You want to prepare for whatever happens. So that's one example. Another example is whenever I hook onto a trailer, immediately before I get off, before I do anything, you know, because the trailer brakes are automatically applied, they're already applied onto the trailer. As soon as you hook on, you hear that clink, you know, where the locking pin goes in and it locks into the lock position. Put it in drive and then just do a tug test. Make sure that your pin actually locked
and it's holding in place the trailer to your fifth wheel, you know, because even though you might hit something, it doesn't mean that it's a guarantee that it locks. So you want to do a tug test. So that's another thing. All right. And so I did a tug test on this, like, older, especially when they're older trailers, man. The last thing you want is, you know, when you see an older trailer, look like this one right here. Look at this trailer right here, for example. It's a Swifty beat up. You know, this is obviously a little different. It has those pins on every corner because it's a container. But I'm just saying, if it's an older container or an older trailer especially, you want to make sure that your brakes are good, your tires are good, the frame is good, everything's good, right? So by doing a tug test, you can tell if the brakes are still good, because if it's not, you're gonna be able to easily pull forward with the trailer hooked onto yourself. You're gonna be able to pull forward, and you can kind of tell, you know, depending on how difficult it is for you to pull forward or not, you can tell if there's something wrong with the brakes. And so I did a tug test, and it was like almost like I can feel like the brakes were applied, but I can still move it. And I was like, this doesn't feel good. So I went underneath and I checked all of the tires and the brakes, and sure enough, man, one of the sets of tires, the brake pad was like above, like this high off the the disc or whatever, you know, wherever it applies the friction. So it was like really high. Whoever adjusted the slack adjuster did a bad job, and they didn't lower it enough, you know, because that's how it's supposed to be. You're not supposed to have like that much space from your brake pad to the disc. It's supposed to be very little, so as soon as you apply the brakes, you know, it hooks on. So the brakes were applied, and it was still a big gap like that, you know. So that means that the slack adjuster wasn't good. And so what does that mean? That means that if I wouldn't have checked, I would have taken off, I would have had less brake pressure, you know. It would have probably taken me a lot longer to brake, especially if it was a heavier trailer. So that's what I want to tell you guys on this video, man. Do your due diligence. Even if you take 15 minutes, 20 minutes, it doesn't matter. You still got to do a pre-trip, so you might as well do it the right way. All right, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll talk to you guys on the next one. Have a good one.